For years, I was silently struggling. The burnouts, depression, I felt completely disconnected from the world, myself, and my body. I used travel to escape instead of turning within and finding the root cause. I had to hit rock bottom to finally realize what was missing this whole time. I've learned it wasn't me that was broken, it was my environment. We've traded our natural habitat for efficiency, and we're paying for it with our health and our peace of mind. I didn't move to Bulgarian village just for the cheaper life and slower pace. I moved here to reclaim the only natural way to live, in direct contact with nature, the seasons, and community. Whether I'm walking the dogs through thick Rhodope forests or practicing yoga outside on the terrace, I'm not just relaxing, I'm returning to where I belong. I'm healing my past, grounding myself in the present, and making sure I have a prosperous future. In this video, I want to show you some of the beautiful spots in Bulgaria I visited last week and make you see you don't need to move to a mountain to find a spot that will heal you. As humans, we're built to thrive in nature. We're just as much a part of nature as nature is a part of us. We've lived in natural habitats for thousands of years, walking barefoot, sleeping on the cave floor, foraging for treats, covering ourselves with fur, washing in the river, building fires, and digging through soil. We were in constant contact with our natural surroundings. Fast forward to today, and we barely get to touch anything that grew in nature. We live in artificial shelters surrounded by concrete and LED lights. Living in these habitats polluted by noise, smoke, and artificial light is something our bodies and minds weren't designed to withstand. Our beautiful cities are actually making us sick, very sick, and depressed. Just like we've managed to poison our food and water, we've designed environments for ourselves that disconnect us from our primal needs. The thing is, nature already contains everything we need for a sustainable and healthy life. But in the name of progress, greed and lust for power are pushing us further and further away from what is actually good for us. I agree and have to quote Hippocrates here. He said, "Illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have accumulated, illnesses will suddenly appear." I mention this a lot, but it's because it's a significant piece on my journey. I was the loneliest and happiest when I lived in a city, especially during my time in London. Looking back, it makes a lot of sense because I spent a lot of time behind four walls, walking down pavements, surrounded by high-rise buildings. But I also remember the craving I had, a craving to be outside, to travel, to go to a park, to meet up with friends and sit on the terrace drinking a cold beer, or have a picnic. I thought it might have been FOMO, but perhaps it was just my body wanting to connect with nature and community. Later, when I started feeling the first symptoms of a burnout, all I wanted to do was to sit outside in the meadow and look at the mountainous view. And so I did, for hours on end, every day for 6 months. It was then, on that meadow surrounded by alpine peaks, that I realized the power nature had. It was then that my healing journey really began. I mention depression and burnout on this channel very often because those were the two experiences that kind of made me hit rock bottom and realize that I need to change my lifestyle and also my mentality in order to actually live like a healthy and sustainable and happy life. And of course, for the longest time, I thought that travel was that thing that kind of made me better, or that was good for me, basically. And so I wanted to travel all the time. I wanted to be on the move all the time. And when I actually sat down with myself and like really spent a lot of time in solitude and spent a lot of time outside, I realized that travel was for me a distraction, basically an escape. Yeah, I just wanted to get away from my problems, I guess. I didn't want to face them. And of course, like when you are traveling, you are busy with so many things that you don't think about or dwell on your thoughts and things like that. But yeah, it was just like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. Like that doesn't really fix it, you know? I have to say that in many ways, traveling actually made things worse because I was so social and I was so like on the move, on the go, like just taking all these things that I needed to see and needed to do and experience, that it just became another like task and another thing that drained my energy and made me more burnout. And it wasn't until I took this job in a really nice boutique hotel in Slovenian mountains. So I was surrounded by incredible nature. And literally every moment I had free, I would spend outside. I would go hiking. I would just sit in the meadow and meditate or write or draw or yeah, just be there with myself. And it was in that moment, in that experience, that actually made me realize that it wasn't travel that healed me. It was nature, because when I was traveling, I would spend most of my time outside. And if I only took time to like travel slowly and just be more present with myself and take it more easy on myself, on my body, on my mind, I think that would have been so much better. And I mean, it's a way like I changed how I travel now so much. I would stay at the same location sometimes for weeks and just explore it in a different way, I guess. But yeah, that moment when I realized that nature was the thing that was actually healing me and filling me up with energy and kind of like restoring me, rejuvenating me, however you want to call it, that's when I knew that, yeah, I have to change my life. That I don't want to live in a city. I don't want to be behind four walls, working behind a laptop for 8 hours every day, sometimes more. That I want to create a different life for myself where I could spend most of my time outside in nature, and especially like grounding myself, walking barefoot, swimming, hiking, basically hugging trees, which is something that, you know, I would laugh at people who would do that, but I totally get it now. Like, I appreciate every single tree, every single meadow, every single mountain, cloud. I mean, the sun has always been the center of my life, I feel like. I've been living according to the sun a lot, and that's why a lot of the times during winter I would escape somewhere where it's a little bit more sunny than in Europe, just because I can spend most of the time outside, and I can really fuel myself up with the endless energy that nature provides, basically. So I guess what I want to say, that for me, this lifestyle isn't even so much about solitude, or so much about Bulgaria itself, or so much about slowing down. Yes, it is in a way, but most importantly, it is about being outside, being able to be surrounded by pristine nature pretty much 24/7, and being able to touch the grass, walk on the grass, touch the soil, be together with the trees. And yeah, I might sound a little bit hippie now, but like, if people only understood that the best medicine is just here all around us, I think that would change a lot. But yeah, our system unfortunately isn't built to support that. So people often ask me about how much my lifestyle costs and want to know about the cost of living here in rural Bulgaria. But the thing is, living frugally on 300 euros per month brought me something money cannot buy: time. Being unemployed and living rurally gave me the opportunity to craft my days however I please. It gave me time to watch the sunrise, time to enjoy my morning coffee for 2 hours every day. It gave me a clear schedule with no deadlines or calendar notifications. I can go for a 2-hour walk in the middle of a day on a Wednesday, or take a road trip any day of the year without asking for permission. I don't drive a fancy car, I barely buy any clothes anymore, and nights out are as rare as a solar eclipse. Nature is the only luxury I have now, and it's the only one I really need, because it's the only one that heals me, restores my body, and calms my mind. Capitalism will try to convince you otherwise. It will synthesize, bottle up, package up, and sell it to you for a high price. But trust me, all the best cures, remedies, and solutions are in nature for free. You really don't need the latest beauty treatment or another supplement. You just need to go outside and hug a tree. With all that said, nature isn't a magic pill. It didn't heal my depression overnight, but it did give me a safe space to devote myself to the process of healing. It provided the environment where I could calm my mind and travel within. It showed me how to get out of my anxious and overthinking mind and simply be present in the moment. That alone opened a whole new perspective on life for me, one that leads with awe, gratitude, and appreciation for life itself. Whether it's the salty air of the Black Sea coast or the ancient peaks of Stara Planina, these landscapes have seen thousand lifetimes of struggles. They remind me my depression and burnouts were just seasons, and seasons always change. Nothing is permanent. Troubles will pass, sadness will pass, pain will pass. Healing doesn't only occur in our minds, it's physical as well. It's the summer breeze caressing your face. It's the dirt behind your fingernails. It's the ache in your feet after a hike. Going from staring at a screen for 8 hours a day to staring at the blue sky, and from endless scrolling to just simply weeding the garden, did more for my health and well-being than any doctor or pill ever could. For me, nature is more than just a retreat. I didn't move to Bulgaria to run away. I came here to indulge myself in the only thing that ever made me feel like myself. Nature accepts me exactly as I am, offers me everything, and wants nothing but respect in return. Being connected to nature is how I healed from burnout of my old life, not by doing nothing, but by finally being in the one place where I don't have to perform. My recovery wasn't a clinic or a pill. It was the mountains, the rivers, and the endless fields of Bulgaria. Whether it was in the Rhodopes, the plains, or the Balkan hills, every move I made here was in search of those spots that make me feel present and alive. I didn't come here just to live a simpler life. I came to live outside, harmonious with nature. It has been my greatest teacher, healer, and a source of inspiration. It has given me wisdom, strength, and peace of mind. So I will leave you with this quote from Anne Frank. The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they are quiet, alone with the heavens, nature, and God. Because only then does one feel that all is as it should be, and that God wishes to see people happy amidst the simple beauty of nature. I firmly believe that nature brings solace in all troubles.